Hi there, Nick Watts here for We Love Betting. I'm back to have another go at the Premier League. It hasn't been going too well recently, it has to be said. Thursday night did get my confidence buoyed a little bit by the fact that I successfully backed Northampton to win in their playoff game. And I also picked out Burton to qualify, and obviously they've got a bit of an edge going into the weekend. So I feel a little bit perkier as a result. Somebody on Twitter said that I just needed a change of scene, and that's why I've come to a different room entirely and a different building entirely. I'm not going to reveal too much about that. But basically, I'm here with my three Premier League picks. As always, that hasn't changed. And I'm going to whiz through them now. I'm kicking off with Spurs again this week. They let me down last week, much to my delight. Not so pleased that the other two let me down, of course. But they're playing Southampton this week, and it's interesting. All three of the games here, I feel like the pricing has been affected by this kind of idea that if a team needs to win, that they generally are more likely to do that. It's not something I subscribe to at all. In the case of Spurs, they're a side with real quality, and I think in these sort of circumstances where they need to win at home in front of their own fans against the Southampton side whose bubble burst a little bit last week, that they've got the quality to step up and make it count when it matters. So it does apply for me here. They're 1-2, so they're kind of unbackable at that price. They've got to win this to keep it in their hands, though. And while they've been a bit disappointing at home overall, they've actually scored less goals than West Ham, which is a fact that I'll come on to actually in one of my future games as well. They have had Gareth Bale scoring for fun. He's still in the mood, isn't he? And you've got to think that they will go out and win this game. So it's just a question of finding out how to get with them at a more respectable price. Southampton away, well, they, as I say, brought back to earth. On home turf, actually, of course, last week, losing 3-0 to West Brom and all those bizarre sendings off. 3 consecutive clean sheets away from home, but not entirely reflective, really, of their overall form, because that was against Swansea, Reading and Norwich, none of whom are in the most goal-scoring of moods recently. Their record away to the top 8 is actually 1-0, drawn 1 and lost 6, so don't hold an awful lot of hope here for them alone. They've conceded 17 goals in those 8 games as well, so more than 2 a game. Spurs, as I say, too short, but what I did find that while Spurs are a bit of a second half team themselves, Southampton very much so in terms of being an away side. They're really, really poor in the first half of games on their travels. In fact, they've trailed more often than any side in the Premier League away from home. That's 10 times in all. And actually only Norwich have got a worse record overall in terms of away games in that first 45 minutes. So on that basis, I'm going Spurs half-time, full-time. It's not a bet that I've been too fond of this year because Spurs score so many of their goals in the second half. But I'm expecting them to come out firing here. They've got to win this game. 13-10 for them to beat Southampton half-time, full-time is good enough for me. So that's my first pick. Second up is West Brom Wigan. Well, again, this is the kind of need to win scenario. And I'm not a massive subscriber when the sides haven't got the same level of quality as say, Spurs. Wigan have won once away from home in 2013, and that was at Reading, so that doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence to be backing them at kind of 11-5. I have to say that's actually irrelevant for this game, for my bet at least, because I'm going for goals again. It's been an old favourite for me this season, and Wigan paid it out so often. Not so much recently. Importantly, got back to that kind of over 2.5 goal form and scoring goals themselves within that last week. That was their first in 5. They've had that over 2.5 goal mark achieved. West Brom also in that kind of scoring mood against Southampton, as I've mentioned. They've scored in 7 of the last 9. They've conceded in the last 8 home games as well. Both encouraging stats if you're looking at over 2.5 goals, and 59% overall of their home games. 59% of Wigan away games actually as well have paid that mark out. So at 5-6, it looked like it was drifting a little bit as a talk on Friday night. That's the sort of price that I'd be looking to back. I wouldn't want it too much shorter than that, really. But 5-6 is the mark that I'm going for. Final game then, Also on Saturday, I touched on them earlier, West Ham at home to Newcastle. Plenty of subplots in this game, not least the whole Newcastle need to win idea. A side that's in somewhat free fall, really. I mean, you think that their home form rather, was what was keeping them together this season, and it's disintegrated, hasn't it? The last two home games, 9-0 on aggregate, just an absolute shambles against Liverpool, and it amazes me, it really does, with all the quality they've got in their squad. But we've said this before about Newcastle, and I'm worried about them this weekend. It has to be said. As I say, Allardyce, Nolan, Carroll all returning to play against their former club. Maybe two of those three a bit more bitter about the way it ended than Andy Carroll. But Newcastle's form alone is enough, really, to make you worry about them at the kind of 2-1, 9-4 mark. Their form has actually almost been as bad as mine, it has to be said. Away form all season been a real issue. 1-1, drawn 6, lost 10. Only Reading have picked up less points away from home, and nobody's conceded more goals than Newcastle on their travels, and that's a huge thing when you think how reliable their defence was last season. 36 goals conceded on the road, more than 2 a game. And you worry about them conceding again here because, as I mentioned earlier, West Ham scored 30 goals on their home pitch, more than Spurs. They've got a very decent home record. They've only lost 4 games, which is on a par with Liverpool. And in terms of defensively, well, they've conceded less than Arsenal, who you may mock for their defensive efforts, but have actually got one of the better defences away from home. So for West Ham to have conceded less goals than them is quite impressive, really. And 7-5 as a result. For me, it's really the bookies pricing up the fact that Newcastle need to win this game. West Ham don't. But when you consider the Allardyce, the Nolan factors, they'd love to win this game, wouldn't they? They really would. So that's my treble for this week. I'm hoping to have some joy after a barren run of late. I'm going West Ham to win at 7-5. I've got 5-6 for over 2.5 goals in West Brom Wigan. And finally, I've got Spurs half-time, full-time at 13-10. Please cut me some slack. Let's get back to form.